Oh, hey man.
Oh, hey, man.
Welcome to this very special episode of Talk of the Universe. I am your host, the greatest American who ever lived, the SRG BOSS, and I am joined by one half of the greatest tag team in LFF history, my personal consigliere, your most prestigious champion in the LFF, Mr. Brian, wait for it, Schmidt. And before I officially kick this episode off, I'd like to say three nice things as I've been instructed to by my marriage counselor.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Schmidt,
Mm.
not a big fan of double champions here, but you make it look so splendid. I might have to reconsider my stance on the thing.
Thank you.
Number two, Sunday night fights, a monumentous event. First ever world championship qualifier in this format went off completely without a hitch. And that was undoubtedly because of your hard work. Thank you very much for it. And number three, Rudopolis is taking shape.
Yeah.
We really appreciate what you have done with that. It looks fantastic. Had some 5 play testing sessions this week. All
Mm.
of them went over very, very well. Very excited for this.
I'm very excited, too. I'm having fun working on it, and it's going to be a great game that they're doing. Eddie does phenomenal art, folks, phenomenal art. And I can't wait to see how it comes out when we produce it in its final stages. So, can't complain.
Yeah, let's get to the week in review.
Uh, Hello. All right. Before we get to the week in review, let's say hello to people in the chat. See who's here. First off, let's say hello to uh, Captain Pete. Hello, my friend. The Dark Prince, Foxworthy, my best friend, the Italian Babata, Marissa. Hope you're feeling better. One half.
And Pete, to send us over that deck of the week, maybe.
Please do DM me. One half of Wait for It. Boom. Mr. Ron Talks Tabletop. Follow him on Spotify and all that wonderful stuff. He just had the Tribal Chief on his podcast. Sam Stanton, Dojo Veteran, Evil Lad, Shannon Stevens, well shit, Max Custodian, and our favorite commissioner of the Deep South, Mr. Drew Madsen. Hello, my friend. Hello to everyone in the chat.
Hello there.
Hello there. I do not suck at all. No, no, no. All right. Well, 3 P's in the sea. Let's start off with one of the big P's. Our tribal chief, Mr. Press 1P, with a promo of the week.
1P here, your player of the era, and most importantly, your world heavyweight champion. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Colby Cram winning the number one contenders tournament last night. That was a hard-fought victory. That match was insane. Congratulations, and hopefully I get to see you in the future soon. But let's get down to business. This Sunday, a match that is quote unquote 9 years in the making is going to take place. Myself versus King Cold himself, Keith Strader. Now, for those of you that don't know, him and I have tremendous history. Way back in the day, we met in the finals of Gen Con not once, but 2 years in a row. And it was an absolute spectacle. Now, Keith, I have tremendous respect for you. We share many memories. I have tons of awesome moments with the KSW, but make no mistake, Keith, 9 years ago, I beat you not once but twice in the biggest match of the year. And it took you 9 years to get an opportunity to come after me. You know what I've done in 9 years since that? I can list them all, but it's not worth it. Just know that I'm the player of the era. And Keith, this Sunday, when you and I meet in the ring, I have tremendous respect for you and the family and everyone down there in KSW. But make no mistake, 9 years ago today, it doesn't matter. This Sunday, I prove once again why I am your daddy. It's nothing personal, baby. It's just business.
Big words from our tribal chief, the World Heavyweight Champion. This Sunday on Sunday Night Fights, the LFF World Heavyweight Championship will be defended as Press 1P as Amazing Red takes on King Cold as Damien.
Would be one of the biggest upsets in LFF history.
Biggest upsets in LFF history.
One of the highest ranked competitors of all time, the Amazing Red, going against Damien.
Photo.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a nice one. I may get Sam Stanton back on commentary. He did a hell of a job this past Sunday, but we'll talk about that more on.
Listen, Sam Stanton. He's got the gift of gab, man.
A little too much gab sometimes.
Great talking skill. You know, I was just reminiscing on a video I was watching where I got linked up with the guys from the Mustache Club.
Ooh.
That's Sam Stanton. That's the mouthpiece getting it done, you know? When Sam Stanton helped demo, I think it was out in New Jersey. Very high praise for the guy. Grateful to have Sam around.
Grateful, yeah. Guy shows
Good
up.
Player, fun guy, really helps out a lot. So
He does. All right, photo of the week coming from BCW. They had a meetup this past weekend, and let's see, we got the GOAT Brock Smith, Brett Midler, who took Math Guy to the finals of Gen Con. There's the Beekeeper. What was that? Midling, sorry. And that looks like Corey. And I do not.
See you later, Corey Pitney.
Yeah, they're picking out their prizes for, I guess, the tournament. I guess they split up a box or something. It looks pretty cool. Nice little group.
They're not playing their medals yet.
Oh.
We got Dangerous Dylan Bias and one half of my favorite tag team, Mr. Johnny Eldorado.
I'm his Olympics captain, so I will remind him to put a special request in for it. All right. Post of the week coming from Ron Talks Tabletop, asking a question to the community. Outside of the greatest, most prestigious area in the LFF, New York, the tri-state area, what are the oldest, longest running Super Show communities out there? Obviously, first thing that comes to mind is Rust Belt.
Rust Belt, I would definitely say. XCW.
Yeah.
Chicago Playgroup.
BCW out of Ohio. ACCW, even before it was called Asylum Card Championship Wrestling. That started back in 2017, according to Llama Senior. So it's very there's a lot of big play groups out there. HCW was a big one as well too. So it's very cool to see history of the LFF right there. Boss?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of great people. Some defunct, some still alive and kicking, some on life support. It has been a very long ride. 2015, I'd say play groups started to emerge. And then obviously into like 2018, 2019, things started growing pretty exponentially at that point.
Yep. Your comment of the week coming from Big Match Pete. This got the most likes here on the discussion group, coming from a post from Mr. Bob Dunn. And the quote is, "The Third Resk." Now, the post is new canonically accurate name for the crime wave, the Stevel Empire.
What time was this posted? He must have been stewing in something.
Saturday night. Saturday morning at 5 a.m.
Yeah, something had to get under Robert the Brain Dunn's skin.
I don't know.
What it was, what I did to have him up into the wee hours of the day.
He was getting on a flight, I believe.
I have done nothing as the leader of the crime wave but give back to this community. You know, I ended the real tyranny of the Super Show scoring app. You know, no longer do we have to live in fear that the app will be turned off when there's an unfavorable decision for Robert the Brain Dunn. Everyone's in there. We have time limits. We signed Jeff Hardy. We've got the Good Brothers. I mean, it's just been nothing but wonderful things here in the LF.
Yeah.
The Stevel Empire. I don't know.
I mean,
somebody's on the wrong side of the history. Just ask Big Match Pete. He knows history.
He does.
Better than anybody.
He does. Man's a history teacher, and God bless that man for teaching high school. All right. Monday, let's go into your week in review with your wonderful, wonderful tournaments. Let's start off with the boss fights on the 20th of this past week. So last week, August 20th. Here is, where are we? Where is the top cut? Did you finish the top cut? I do not.
Yeah, the elimination film, a birdcage.
Okay. All right.
Feels like that was eons ago.
Yeah, it feels. A lot of things feel like it's eons ago, Steve. Let's see. 820. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I don't see a top cut, but here is the top three. Boss, who was top three for you?
It was a birdcage.
Okay.
And it was booked as a match card.
Oh.
So if you could check out that match card, the results will be there. Or B square. First, I got to give a shout out to Chugonomics, just flinging and dinging and all in with the high roller out of nowhere. Did not pay off, but was still awesome to watch.
Yeah.
The huge balls play, burying his hand, and then somehow getting back to 10 cards throughout the match. I mean, it was a banger. We had Trey Cantrell as Terraskull, the Italian Bombada as Shaggy Shark. We had as the high roller. The Jerk of Cirque was the math guy, which is not who you want to be. You don't want to be targeting people in the elimination chamber that hard, in the birdcage rather, because they come for you then. As the undefeated, we allowed the Jerk of Cirque to enter in last, but it was not enough. He got tossed on over the top. Your winner of that event, one of my favorite guys here in the LFF, top tier deck builder, should be your deck of the week. We'll go over that shortly. Comes from Mr. Trey Cantrell.
Ooh.
And the beauty of this deck,
yeah,
with Trey, he's running a version. I'm running a version. Drew Madsen is running a version, and all of these are a little bit different.
Oh, we're talking Terraskull.
Terraskull, yeah, one of my favorites. You want to? Should we do the deck right now?
I have the deck right now. If you want to talk about it.
From Trey?
No, I have it from Pete. You said.
Yeah, I got Pete and Trey. We're gonna
all right, so I'll bring up Pete on screen right now for the folks here.
Two of them. We're gonna have an honorable mention because we didn't do last week, so we're gonna go back to that.
All right, so Big Match Pete going undefeated at locals. We're gonna start off with Danhausen, very nice, very evil. Valiant.
I want to say before you dive into it, and I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go.
Big Match Pete has a very Big Match Pete style deck building.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it. It is a different formula than we've seen. You know, like we know the Prep 1P decks. I'm sure Drew Madsen has a little bit of a recipe that he likes. I call the trade control cards out there. So Big Match Pete, there's a lot of things that I'll point out here that I know is very much so his play style, and the results speak for himself. I mean, the guy has a great track record, but he doesn't play the same types of stuff that you'll always see. So let's dive into this deck list.
All right, so Danhausen, very nice, very evil. Champion of Kickstarter, as it is with every tri-state. Valiant. We're going to get a little chop down. Chain Wrestling, Lockjaw, APOC, Rejected, Philly Cheese Grater. I came in like...
So fast. Big Match Pete loves to go 9 to a 10. Chain Wrestling in there. Gives up a stock quite often. Pays off really well. Love to see that. Okay, you got came in like a wrecking ball at 7.
Yep, came in like a wrecking ball. Crowd's Got My Back at 8.
That's a Big Match Pete card. Crowd got my back.
Yep.
He's always throwing one of these in there.
It's a good card too. Chugga. Woo, woo! Un-American Elbow Smash. Very weird for Big Match Pete to throw an Un-American card. Just saying. Still gets a card back. It's pretty good. All-American Drop. Figure 4 Leg Lock. High Impact Knee Choppa. DDT. Pete loves his DDTs, and I assume that card was
signed by Jake the Snake.
I was about to say, yeah, it should be signed by Jake. Beg for Mercy. Eternal Contact. Lightning Helix Pile Driver.
Another, Big Match Pete like pumping those 9s to 10s.
Yep. Trio. Whoa. Dragon Gate, Sealed Away, American Dragon Leg Lock. So the steel cage stops that reveals the top. Bulldozer of Demolition. Flip 1.
That's Chris Pate out there ringing a bell, because I know there was some severe controversy between our LFF World Champion and our #1 contender on the viability of these cards. But here, Big Match Pete is using one of those.
Love those cards.
Good stuff.
Tiger Driver. Great card. Phenomenal card. Flipping Armbar with a Tech +8. Great card. Flip 4, add 2. Face it, you're barking up the wrong tree. Make it rain. Umbrella Hold. Interesting.
He said just in case you were trying to mess around, you were going to find out.
Fair enough. Pete confirming it is signed by Jake.
I know my history, Daddy.
I do too. And then Danhausen's normal finishes. So Tequila Super Kick, Devotion DDT, and Very Nice, Very Evil. I like it.
Big fan. Like I said, look, there's some twists and some stuff in there. I like the turn roll bonuses, especially when you have other people that might have some skill boosts.
Yeah,
it's a nice way to kind of even the playing field. I also like that, aside from like the Tiger Driver, Big Match Pete just letting his gimmick do the work. Man.
Yeah,
he's not looking to do hand destruction all around. Just let my gimmick draw me some cards, disrupt my opponent, and I'm going to stick to my game plan. Win some turn rolls, hit some finishers,
Yep, undefeated at locals, as we'll find out in the locals report in a little bit. But tell us about this trade deck, Steve.
Trey Cantrell, I'm going to see. I have a Get Dice.
Oh, yes, send it over to me, please, and thank you.
So Trey Cantrell continues to be one of my favorite deck builders and deck designers. Also,
oh yeah,
Trey, I know he's got this big scary persona. Not really. Continues to be one of my favorite people to play late night Super Show with. Whenever I could steal Trey Cantrell in a breakout room, it's a good night. This one is something I'm especially excited about. No secret, Terra Skull, one of my favorite characters. He's been seeing a lot of success lately. We got the
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Steel Chain.
Hold on, let me pull it up so people can see it. There we go. Oh wow, decent with.
And I like the spread of stuff he has to kind of challenge some of the hand destruction. Heading out at 1, Chain Wrestling. I mean, I love Chain Wrestling in general. Get double value. Bob and Weave. Snap Kick at 4. Again, I think that's just to kind of protect against some of the hand destruction. Crunching with the Steel Chain Assault and going over to Steel Chain. Terror Spin from the Rip and Ship promo, choking with the chain, and Armored Aggression. This is why I think Trey is a really great deck builder. Right here you can have what some people might say is the obvious Steel Chain Uprising answer. But no, Trey's going to tell you most likely that he's got enough triggers here. He doesn't need to worry about that. So he's going to go with the pain, and he's going to spam that submission finisher. So he's got the Armored Aggression, Unchained Wizard Knee, Steel Chain Whip, Gathering the Steel Chain. Love those with Terra Skull. Get the +1 to the turn roll and the boost. Ultimate Corner Crush.
Good call.
Great card. Opting to not have a 7 seals here with the wave breaking kendo stick in a format right now where we have kendo stick match. I think this is a great call. Hold Your Nose. Again, I love having at least one card that makes my opponent flip. I think it's a game changer.
Yep.
So it's good to have that. Super King Swing. Card that I like. I call it a Sam Stanton card. The Steel Chain Spine Buster, comboing that with the entrance card, gives you 2 finishers. This one exceptionally powerful.
Yep.
Because you're getting 7 to a 9, and then your gimmick on as well. Cat Scratch, again. Look, Trey's like, I'm not just diving in on keywords. I got a game plan.
Right.
I've got 2 grapple finishers, and I got protected subs, so I'm going to spam submissions at you. Terror Strikes, Tales of Terror, Dog Off the Chain. All of those synergize really nicely with the steel cage stops.
Yep.
Here's what I love. He has Shove Off the Ropes. +1 to the crowd meter. Draw cards equal to the crowd meter. Again, this will turn his stops on if needed. And when you're boosting your bottom, you want a higher crowd meter.
Right.
So I love this call. Unchained Aggression, fantastic.
Neck vice.
Neck vice, a little board removal. I think another thing, most of my decks, I like to have 1 flip, 1 board removal. Then you have the Unchained Hammer Strike, broken in half, which I think, again, is a very unexpected call. But when your bottom is protected and boosted, you're in a good shape. Backlash with the Steel Chain, and then Reign of Terror, Terrorizing, and Terrified. Terrified I almost never play, which is a mistake on my part. +3 to your 6, +1 to your grapple, then with your gimmick. So you could have a pretty significant boost to your grapple skill with that when the crowd meter is high. This could be absolutely lethal.
Yep. Your opponent discard. Yep. It's got a discard effect as well, too, for every chain or terror you have in play.
Yep, so you're going to get some hand destruction on that. Much different from my version. My version is very janky. I play the Super Steel Chain Punch. I'm looking to get some value out of that. But love this design by Trey. I think that what makes it so successful, again, is didn't go all in on chains. He's got a lot of chains to pump up his gimmick, but then he's sticking with some classic and effective cards to get his submission finishers from the discard pile. You hit that Terrified. You make them discard their hand, and then you lather, rinse, repeat, get it right back. So solid deck design.
Very solid. Always good deck design coming from the guys who run Stack Card. They helped me out with my competitor as well too, so I'm very happy about that. All right. Well, let's go to Jeremy. Let's go to our locals report. Let's see what we got for our locals, and we'll go right into Monday Night Fights in the dojo. Local sport. Jeremy!
LFF Universe. This is Practice Site Jeremy Staggerwald with your locals report for the week of August the 25th, 2026. We've got 2 locals to get to, so let's get to them. The first was a joint locals held by ACCW and XP Wrestling, taking place in the Brazelton Dojo near XP Wrestling. It was Trios Club, Trios Tournament, sponsored by both ACCW and XPW, and I have a top 6. In 6th place, Lauren Schwanet as the Good, the Bad, and the Whiskey. Coming in tied for 4th, myself as Boss's Philly Cannolis, and Chip Allen as My Girls. Coming in tied for 2nd, established guy Nick Ross as the biggest man in all the land, and Hold the Line Harry Jonathan Thu as the Elite. But taking it down for the culture, it was Mr. Rumble himself, Ron Frazier, as the new trio for the culture, taking it down at Trios Club. So he is the Trios Club winner. This is going to get him a shot at the ACCW Trios Championship in the future. That's what we were up to this weekend at ACCW XPW. All right, the web browser crashed, but we're going to continue on down the road to Titan Legacy Wrestling in McDonough, Georgia. At TCF Gaming Arena, we had a 5-player round-robin tournament to determine the Titan Legacy champion. This wasn't a case of a championship being vacated. The champion, Chris Longamoth, chose this as the method of how he would defend his champion, as every Titan Legacy champion gets to determine how they defend the title. He said, round robin, everybody plays everybody. So here we go. 5th place, Nick Ross using Humanity. 4th place, Chip Allen as Lexi the Punk Rock Pixie. 3rd place, McKenna Henson as LA Park. And then the top 2 with equal records, but there was a tiebreaker. The champion, Chris Longamoth, as Alien Invader version 2. He won every match but one, and that was against the winner and new champion, me, as BDE. So because Chris was so generous to defend the title in a round robin, I immediately defended it against himself and McKenna in a trios match, a triad match, and successfully defended the championship as BDE. So that was what we got into at Titan Legacy Wrestling, besides a bunch of friendlies and one-on-one matches to test decks. That's what I got for locals. I did not get anything else sent to me. So please send me your locals reports. We want to talk about what's going on out there, who's playing where. So send me those reports for next time, and we're going to go back to Talk of the Universe.
Jeremy, thank you very much, brother, for that wonderful local support. Jeremy, doing the Lord's work and taking all your responses, all of your local supports, and bringing them in. Pete saying fire the Rip and Ship GM. Why would we fire the Arbiter there, Steve?
I don't think we should. He's having a hard go at it. He's got to manage time limits in a local group with Matt Haas. He's got to not upset his tribal chief. You know, if he gets John Polverino even remotely upset, Jason's week is ruined. So Jason was able to defeat Press 1P this week due to a time limit stipulation. And the tribal chief was not happy about that. But that be the breaks. I wasn't happy about O2 getting my butt whipped and kicked out of the tournament. But yeah, that's how it goes.
All right, let's talk about Sunday Night Fights, the #1 Contenders event. Let's deep dive into that, folks. So we had where is the event here? So I pull it up on screen. We have here we go, World Tournament single elimination. We started at 5:30 p.m. Oh, if you were not in the bye, if you did not get a bye, you could play any time from when Steve announced it, which was last Wednesday, till the time of. And a lot of big names came out of that play-in. So Candyman Dan, new guy Nick, established guy Nick, Meatball taking out Candyman, your tag GM, and this is a match I wanted to see, but I was not around it. El Hombre Cibernetico versus the Johnny Correa. That is a match I would have loved to stream and shown on stream how that is. I'm just sad I didn't get to see that match live. Evil Ed taking out Aaron. Boss's pick. Starting off hot. Matt Haas taking out the Foreman, which they were finished very quickly, which I find very interesting that those two finished very quickly. And then Drew taking out Jeff Fox, and then Robert the Brain Dunn taking out Pride using Robert the Brain Dunn. So we went live at 7 o'clock, early for us, because it was a big event, one of the most historic Sunday night fights ever. And it was established if we drew Raven's Blood Cemetery on any of the initial rounds, that would be moved straight to the main event, and we would re-roll the stip wheel. So we had the stip wheel decide what your stipulations would be for the event. The first round of 16. So round 2 would get Strike Club, and we did have the team wanted to see Jay Tagus versus Faye Dragon. And it was a dice game, and Jay Taggis would take the win over Faye Dragon. HR put a fight up. She had like a nice little groove going, but Taggis, Steve, he's just way too good at that point. Like once he's on that
He's
roll,
real good. And unfortunately for HR, did not draw one of the characters that her gimmick would be a huge difference maker on.
right? Then we went and saw the highest champion, Zach, actually taking on Candyman Dan. And that was a chess match between both players. This was like high-end super.
That's the match I wanted to see.
We got in there. It was crowd meter 1. Excuse me, crowd meter 1, and that was done. That was just like a learning match for people to understand how to play high level super show between Candyman Dan and Zach, actually, both former world champions, trying to get that shot again. But
Dan was
Dan was world champion with Fox Assassin. Played it faster than most people. Anyway, Zach would get the win, but there are it's just that Cyclone gimmick is just really, really just completely dangerous. You bump, shuffle, make your opponent shuffle back in. But Dan always had a board there, so you can kind of. Zach didn't really have a field for a good amount of the time of the match. So, but when he's got the dice rolling and it's in his favor, and he had some stuff on the board, you got Chuck playing Miss. How did Chuck get Miss Flawless? Did he play it at Southern Fried? I assume so.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Chuck using that Tech 11 to take over new guy Nick. Colby Cram as Mr. Papa Twist took on Craig the Meatball. We all thought that Craig was going to get that match due to the Barry gimmick, but Colby showing why he's the chosen one, taking out the Meatball. And in the upset of the year, Evil Ed taking out the SRG BOSS in a strike club. Boss, how are you feeling about this?
I think Evil Ed sent somebody to shove Bruiser Beans off the roller coaster in the backyard. Some foul play was awry there. For those of you who reached out, she is okay. No broken bones, just a sprained wrist, a little wrap. She'll be all right.
Good. The match that we followed for the remainder of the round, which had about 2 minutes left before we went double elimination here. Matt Haas against Bobby Ohio. Matt Haas bringing in Fox Assassin from the Intergalactic division. And with about 2 minutes left, so 43 minutes into the match, Matt Haas gets the win over Bobby Ohio. Crowd meter 5. Now, crowd meter 5 hit at 35 minutes. Okay, once the match got 35 minutes, it went to crowd meter 5. At 40 minutes, your gimmicks were blank. And at 45 minutes, double loss. If you can't play a game of Super Show in 45 minutes, I don't know what to tell you, my friend. We've seen long matches, boss, where it's gone on and on and on and on. But this was a long one. Matt Haas.
Moving on.
TJ Swaggy taking on TV Commission, and I heard that match was quicker, about 3 or 4 minutes, not even. Swaggy was in and out. It was
in New York, boosting stuff up.
Yep, D2 hammers, but the hammers were TJ could not handle all the hammers D2 was thrown at him. So TVA Commission advancing into the next round. And then last match of the round, Bob Dunn taking on Jared Bridgewater is EL.
Be right.
Yep, ELF. Bob Dunn getting that win over Jared Bridge. All right. Top 8. Went into a New York Rules match as randomly spin. Sam was there. We went right to the Matt Haas and Evil Ed match, because we wanted Evil Ed to get through there, but Ed couldn't get the cheese rolling, to say the least. The Gouda was not good enough for him as Matt Haas takes it over Evil Ed. We then go ahead and follow TVA Commish versus Bob Dunn. Bob Dunn stating that the wheel was rigged. I think that's where the Stevel Empire. No, that's not it. But Drew winning the turn rolls and taking out Bob Dunn from the top 8. Colby Cram would then take out Jay Tagus, and then Simple Chuck would defeat his TVA TVA friend and member of the Grumpy Appreciation Society, Zach Atchley. Yeah, Bob Dunn was super mad about the stip. But Chuck, as Miss Flawless, taking out the highest champ in the LFF. Excuse me. And then finally, your top 4. TVA Commish versus Matt Haas, and Colby Cram versus Simple Chuck. Colby Cram is Mr. Pop and Twist, taking out Miss Flawless, because 2 10s is better than 111, as we saw math-wise on the stream, as Colby Cram takes out Simple Chuck. And then the TVA Commissioner defeating Matt Haas with about a minute left to time. There were questions about triggers and stuff, but everyone knows what they're doing here in the LFF most of the time. So, but your winner in advancing to the finals, Colby TVA Commish. And finally, the finals, excuse me, of your main event. What were the steps? All right, so semifinals was Psycho Circus. Top 8 was New York Rules. And then in the top 16 was Strike Club. Now, the finals was what everyone was waiting for. Raven's Blood Cemetery. Crown Meter 0. This match of the year contender. We put Fleecing the Flock on sale on supershowthegame.com because it was hit about 20-ish times during the match. When you saw the Fleecing the Flock coming, you knew that Colby was going to get the next turn. But at Crown Meter 4, Raven's Blood Cemetery, your winner and new #1 contender for the LFF World Heavyweight Championship.
You know, all the hate for the Raven's Blood Cemetery. That match was epic to watch.
It was a phenomenal match. But Colby Cram is your new #1 contender for the LFF World Heavyweight Championship.
Matches, World Championship on the line, one for the night. You know, these Raven's Blood matches, they deliver a guaranteed banger.
Guaranteed banger
I thought it was a fantastic match. You know, Colby got in control of it, but Drew had hope the whole time, man.
Yeah.
At some point, it was like, man, I really hope Drew comes back just to make this a huge match. Fantastic match. You know, big shout out to both those players.
Right.
Drew Madsen being prepared with the Cosmic Uprising, puts the mind games on Matt Haas. Gets himself to the final. Both these guys were super ready for everything that came their way. And then our new contender for the World Championship as the balloon bending, fun sending, hero making, challenge taking, grunt hating, true entertainer of the wrestling world, Mr. Pop and Twist. Which then sets up the Italian Mobata, who just can't seem to keep his mouth closed for 20 seconds if it involves Brian Schmidt making a mistake. But doesn't speak up to the fact that he holds possibly a #1 contendership with Mr. Pop and Twist as well. You know, General Manager John Calais, does he know about this? Who the hell knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? But should Pop and Twist have been booked? Is the champ going to have to play 2 Pop and Twist? I don't know how this is going to shake out. This is interesting. Little higher class biases here.
I mean,
Cram to use Mr. Pop and Twist in this event.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
If I was running the show, God willingly, I will be in charge of the world title division at some point in time to prevent these. I think it should be a pop-off. It should be Pop and Twist versus Pop and Twist.
Right.
Throw in actual Pop and Twist and make it a triple threat, too.
Why not?
But
moving on. Monday Night Fights will keep this short and simple. It was the top. We had 4 people enter. the top 3 had the same record and the same score in the bullet round. So the finals was a dark match, triad match. So a triad dark match. Here is your winner and winning the triad match. Titan as Dana Might, ignoring if stopped.
Yes, stay tuned for Friday night's killer combo. They will return by popular demand.
Yep. Dojo last night was a phenomenal night. The Boss Roddy beatdown came from myself and Sam Stanton. Here are the cards to go on sale is as follows. Level Up Spear, Moonstar, Beat with the Microphone, and Soborno. Cards won were Faceplant Piledriver by the U.S. champion, Tim winning Union Safety Reps, and then Drew winning back-to-back 2-minute challenges against the house, getting him and Trey a Crimson Tide. The number, I think it's number 18. But there you go. Those are your cards on sale. Level Up Spear, Moonstar, Beat with the Microphone, and Soborno, all on sale. Many gifted subs, $20 donation from the Beekeeper. A lot of New York rules that night. But that is your week.
The lights are on.
Yeah, right. Thank you for keeping the lights on, Beekeeper. We do appreciate it. All right, that's your week in review. Boss! What do you got for me? I heard talks of spoilers?
The boss is heavily medicated due to back spasms today, so he's going to do his best to power on through this episode.
Chugga.
Talk of the Universe.
Chugga,
All right.
chugga.
A couple things we got to cover is brand new spectacle card. All the rage, getting 5s across the board here. And I love this thing. We have 2 new spectacle cards. One of them is Chases Off the Manager. The other one is Outside Interference from. And I love these designs. I think I did a poor job of trying to proof it from being overpowered. And I gave it some misleading words. But the design on these cards were some of my favorite entrance cards.
Okay.
Have been outshined as of lately, thanks to cards like the floats that trigger twice, and then we have internet championships, things that do things at the start of the match, and you have ships and gear cards. So cards that I love, like should have been a 10, don't really get you that much love these days.
No, they don't.
I wanted to create 2 spectacles, one's to power up your once a match entrance cards, and one to kind of take away the enough with the ruckuses and the ringside ruckuses from the floats and turn them off, thus giving birth to Chases Off the Manager and Outside Interference from. Outside Interference from reads once a match, chains once per match in the text of your entrance card to twice per match and once per turn. Okay, the once per turn portion of it was a late addition to negate the fact that you couldn't double trigger by passing or using a card that would trigger twice when you hit a card. Yes, I totally understand the concerns where people are interpreting it fairly to say it doesn't trigger during the turn, so you can't use it on roll cards. No, that is not the intention. The once per turn part is adjusting if it was like a during your turn a card. I also think it would sound really strange if it said twice per match but once per effect. Because again, maybe that's just me overthinking it. My logic was like, on my turn, I end my turn. I had a turn, so I'm choosing to activate Grand Machine during my turn, but it happens after my turn ends. So that was where the wording on that was. So I put an FAQ up that it's twice per match and once per turn, but the turn was really indicating you couldn't do it twice in succession.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would say once per effect would be clearer, but that was what that card was designed to do. We've seen, Press 1P very famously now loves to use it with Pretty Paul. I think it's amazing that Pretty Paul is a card that Wolverino would never ever use once if it was only able to trigger one time.
Yeah.
It's a popular card amongst the TVA, but now that you could use it twice makes it very good. And yes, your opponent in response can use the Valiant one to change it back to one, and then both spectacles would kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
So that is definitely a thing. I use it to get my Grand Machine twice. I think that's really fun.
I would
As
I would probably use it for the candy shop talk entrance.
Yes, I like it with Chip levels up the Union. Get 2 turn roll wins out of that if needed. I like Jeff Fox's comment. This is one of the few spectacle cards that you can use to do something that's not exactly a catch-up mechanic.
Yep.
So I think that that's kind of cool as well. So yeah, that brand new card, lots of cool tricks that you can do with it. If you want to use once per match, if it is considered a crowd meter for your card effects with ladder in the name, you can do that twice if you're looking to elevate the competition. I think that this might create a resurgence in things like spectacular running with the Dread Pirate, right?
Right.
Be able to get some cards when your opponent does that, reveals it. Very likely they reveal spectacles now. So I think it is a very cool card. I like that people are ranking it really high as a 5. That's very cool. Wolverino, again, getting lots of use out of it with his Pretty Paul twice.
Yeah.
I like the double Grand Machine aspect of it. And Kirk Polka coming in from the woodworks, always great to hear from the Sheep of the Era saying, what? Newman was off the menu? Polka, you've been gone for a long time. I mean, it's been a very, very heavy Valiant field for quite some time.
Yes.
So that should be, I think like all of Faction Wars is like Valiant. So.
All right. Yeah.
We're going to go into spoilers. So I will keep you updated as the products arrive.
Okay.
There is going to be some big news. The Good Brothers will be paying a visit to Dragon Con.
Woo woo, baby.
Come stop by us for a little bit in our gaming area. We are not a vending hall. We are not in the vending hall. We are in the gaming hall. So what you can do is you will be able to order off supershowthegame.com a pre-order to get a brand new entrance card featuring Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson.
What's the name of it?
And pick it up and get it autographed at Dragon Con.
Oh, nice.
You will also be able to purchase an autographed copy that they will be doing the signings for us, and they will ship out when we get home. So, Schmidt.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful folder called the Dragon Con Releases.
Got it.
This is the scheduled delivery that I will be getting. It's going to have some Super Lucha stuff, some promo cards. Let's pull it up. Let's get some spoilers.
I'm pulling it up right now. So let's pull up the Super Lucha competitors. Let's start off with my favorite that I helped out with. Let me get this properly on the screen for folks so they can see it. I want to make sure we have it correct. It's my favorite, and when Steve told me about it when we were discussing stuff on the way home from Gen Con, this was my favorite that he talked about. It is the one, the only. Let me pull this so everyone can see it. On screen now, the Muchacho Man. When you roll agility for your turn roll, if your next turn roll is strike or submission, add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. Muchacho Man. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Love it.
What else we got, Spitty?
Let's look at his finishes, shall we? Or am I going somewhere else with this? The cream of the rising the crop of the rising creaminess. 3 attack, 3 to grapple. Your opponent draws 3 cards. Add 2 cards from your discard pile to your hand. Good tech there. The Muchacho Sandstorm. 1 to sub, 1 to grapple. You may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 5 cards. You may re-roll your next turn roll. And then finally, the submission finish. The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. 2 to power, 1 to strike. Discard 2 cards from your hand to draw 2 cards. I'm fixing that right now. I don't know why it zoomed in that far, but there you go. But that is the Muchacho Man live. All right, let's go ahead and grab something else now. Boss, anything specific you want to show off, or are we going to go just through all the releases? Let's show off the Talking Shop entrance. Steve?
Everything in the folder, Mr.
All right. Talking Shop with the Good Brothers. Once per match, if you and your target would roll the same skill for your turn roll, if you and your target would roll the same skill for your turn roll, draw 2 cards instead, and each player re-rolls their turn roll. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Correcting the ring announcer. This is Jeremy, commissioned by Jeremy. During the first turn roll, shuffle all cards. During the first turn roll, shuffle all cards from all players' discard piles into their decks. Once per match, if you target ended their turn without playing a card, you may bury 3 cards in your target's discard pile. Okay. Drago Nightmare, excuse me. I'm getting a bit of a cold. Creation from Press 1P. When you and your target roll the same skill for your next turn roll, your target's next turn roll is -2.
The Dragon Hex.
Yes. Draco Meteora. 3 to agility, 1 to strike. If stopped, you may change your next turn roll. The same skill as your target's turn roll. Immense Anger. Your finish roll is plus the crowd meter, max +2. If you and your opponent rolled the same skill for the turn roll, your opponent reveals 2 cards in their hand and buries all other cards. Then bury cards in your hand until they have 2 or fewer cards in your hand. Blah?
Your opponent will show you 2 cards, then you get to pick which 2 cards you want. And then if your gimmick is on, your opponent's next turn will be -2.
Okay. And then the submission, Hyper Cannon. 2 to technique, 1 to agility, 4 to submission. You cannot play cards during the next turn.
I think P did a very great thematic job.
Yes.
Taking some inspiration from one of his favorite monsters that fit in your pocket. Love this character.
All right, here we go. Here are some promos that we're going to see. Super Lucha ones. We're going to start off with the 22. Rev up the cheese bus. Without a skill, +1 to strike, number 22. Nice. Bats eat cats. +1 to agility. Bossiest Bossa Ball throw. +1 to power.
Bossa Ball is a real sport in Brazil, all right?
Is it?
Don't tempt me to make a Bossa line.
Hammered by Fire and Madness, +1 to grapple. The Double Dragon, +1 to technique. And then Rolling Rampage, +1 to submission. These are all promo cards coming out at DragonCon. Excuse me. Next up on the docket, coming out at DragonCon, which is next week. A favorite of mine, El Matador. Once per turn, when you roll strike, grapple, or submission for your turn roll, you may discard a card of that move type from your hand to re-roll your turn roll. El Último Baile. 3 to power, 2 to strike. If you re-rolled your turn roll, this card is also a follow-up. El Clavo de Rosa. 2 to strike, 2 to grapple. Add 2 stops from your discard pile to your hand. And then finally, the Conquisto Claw. Excuse me. +2 to technique. Twice per turn. If you rolled strike, grapple, or submission for your turn roll, you may re-roll your finish roll. Very Suborno-esque, Steve. Very Suborno-esque. All right. Let's bring up a Michigan native joining Super Lucha. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beekeeper. When you roll technique for your turn roll, collect 1 B token, max 2. During your turn roll, you may remove all your B tokens, and your target's turn roll is -1 for each B token removed. So you can remove all of them and get a -2, or if when you roll your 5, you get 1 B token, and the next turn roll during
So he may not come out at Dragon Con because I don't have my beat tokens yet,
Okay.
but he will be coming out.
All right. Well, we'll go through it anyway. Here we go. Hive Mind. 2 to power, 1 to strike. If you rolled technique or grapple, you may discard 1 B token to make your finish roll +1. Excuse me. Humo de Lambada. 1 to agility, 2 to grapple. If your opponent cannot force you to re-roll your finish roll. And then Bee's Knees. 3 to power, 3 to technique. Collect 2 B tokens. So you hit the sub finish, you get yourself 2 B tokens. Pretty cool. And then finally, the other Super Lucha competitor. Will this one be coming out at Dragon Con?
Which one?
Lones.
Yeah, yes, we're gonna have some nice stuff. The Beekeeper is the only one in question, unless I could get some B tokens.
Lones. When you have 3 strikes in play, +2 to submission. When you have 2 submissions in play, +1 to strike. That's evil. That's an Evilise on other skills. Pretty cool. Talking Trash. 1 to strike, 1 to submission. Your opponent flips 2 cards. Pretty simple. Tuesday. It's Tuesday. 2 to power, 2 to agility. Shuffle 2 cards from your discard pile into your deck. And then finally, Kinda Metal. Finish submission. 2 to power, 1 to technique. If you rolled agility for your finish roll, shuffle this card into your deck. Did we get a new Mucha Lucha alt girl? No, we did not. To the alt commission, Mr. Ant West. We did not. But yeah. Let's see what else do we have. Anything else? No, that's everything in the Super Lucha. Let's see what else we have. Creator Pro. Let's see. The excuse me. First thing we're going to show off is the Creator Pro World Title. All players' finish rolls are +1. Once per match, when your opponent hits a finish, draw 2 cards. And then the women's title gets another reprint as well, too. There you go. All right. Commissioner Myers. At the start of the match, you may reveal 1 competitor card with the Creative Pro logo that is different from your opponent's. Add that gimmick to yours. So this is any Creative Pro competitor that is different from your opponent's competitor. And he also has
Tag teams and future tag teams.
Yeah, tag teams, future. It's open to whatever is there. Plus, he has the Brian Myers logo as well too, so he has access to more finishes, like the heat-seeking elbow. Why is it auto-zooming there? 3 to agility, 1 to strike. Discard 1 card in your hand. Look at your opponent's hand. Discard 1 card in their hand that matches the move type that you discarded.
I believe we are contracted to 120 of these, or 100 of the Myers.
Okay. System overload. 1 to power, 1 to submission, 2 to grapple. If your opponent's competitor has the Creative Pro logo, this card is also a follow-up. Why is my phone? And then finally, the submission finish. Roster cut. 1 to strike, 3 to submission. You may swap your additional reveal Creative Pro competitor card with another Creative Pro competitor card. So you could swap out your.
So if you start at Bobby Orlando, who has at the start of the match gimmick, you can then switch over to somebody like Leo Sparrow.
Speaking of tags, Shooter Boys. During the turn roll, when you roll submission, shuffle 1 submission from a discard pile into your deck. When you roll grapple, bury 1 grapple in your discard pile. Very interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to. I got my phone's being a little weird right here. Here we go. Your strike finish, double super kick, plus 10 to strike. Your next turn rolls plus 10. Blockbuster, 4 to power, 6 to agility, 1 to grapple. Just 1 card your opponent has in play. Okay, well. The double ankle lock. 3 to power, 2 to technique. Draw 2 cards. Once per finish roll, you may discard 1 submission from your hand to force your opponent to re-roll their breakout roll. Ant was saying, I need a Creative Pro that works with a certified alt women's wrestler. We'll have more women wrestlers coming out very shortly with Creative Pro possibly. They have a big roster there, Ant West. So let's we'll see what we can get. All right, that's everything in the folder there, boss.
What about the entrance? The Good Brothers.
I did that already.
Oh, you read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hopefully get a signed copy of that. That'll be on sale this weekend. And this is the final weekend of the stipulation block, I believe, right?
The 30th. For us, yes, this is the final week, because I know Spider changes on September 30th. So I was told I cannot play Tagus at Miso's Mania, which Miso's Mania is the CAC happening in October. Once again, they've booked it where, Boss can't go down and win it. So, it's a shame. Such a shame.
Oh, we got to vote on the stipulation.
Yep, he messaged me already. That's why I was trying to futz around with my phone. Give me a moment, Brock. Give me a moment.
What would you like to see? One hand chain behind people's backs?
How about a why not even money's on a pole?
Or will it be flag on a pole match?
All right, let me pull this up. New poll. Next U.S. stipulation. We have New York rules or Strike Club. Folks, you get to choose the next stipulation in the United States.
It clearly says it can't be New York rules or Strike Club.
It says, oh, well, I don't. So what are the other ones that are available?
Kendo Stick.
Thank you.
Psycho Circus. Dark match.
Raven's Blood, right?
I wasn't going to say it.
Raven's Blood. All right. All right, 3 minutes. This is the vote on it, folks.
All right, we touched upon the world title picture.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what is going to be the next step? Will it be Chris Pate? Will it be Chris Pagillo? Will it be Colby Cram? Will it be all of the above? I'm not sure what is going to really shake out there. We have the Mop Boys are lobbying for their tag team title shots. You know, Piglet didn't show up to my Saturday night event. I don't want to hear.
I won
there
it,
was no
by the way.
Actual Saturday night event, and I wasted his time pretending that he could show up.
I won it with
I
Yellow
might cut
Wizard.
the guy some slack. He represented the SRG shirt out at the local indie show.
He did.
You know, I'm not too concerned about this guy anyway, so I'll leave it up to the Candyman's judgment on whether or not this matchup is going to happen. We do have the LFF World Championships this Sunday featuring King Cold and John Press 1P. I have some chats set up to establish the hardcore event, which will be between Drew Madsen as Terra Skull taking on the Jerk of Cirque, Eddie Fury, as Eddie Fury in a steel chain match. That should be a great match.
Great match.
We also have a triad match being set up between Colin the Chrononaut and Zach Atchley and the Meeples champion, our old school champion. He had a challenger lined up for Southern Fried. No one was worthy of stepping into the High Roller Lounge against Mr. Old School himself, Dr. Pollywood. So we are going to get that matchup set up. There will be an old school qualifying tournament on the horizon.
Awesome.
I'm going to allow all old school competitors and all cards. However, be aware, if you win the event, you will have to adhere to the old school format for your title match, even if the event is not old school format, just old school competitors.
Okay.
The winner of Drew versus Eddie Fury will take on the Italian Bombata, who has been hoarding his title shot. It must be the initials, Chris P. You just get title shots and just don't use them of all time. We've also, I believe, set up the unification of the Intergalactic and Underworld title. Is that?
So I'm going to get to that right now. The that match is happening this Sunday. Let's go through Sunday Night Fights real quick while we got this poll going up. Sunday Night Fights is live at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you kick off with the Veterans Championship as Jacob from WTX Radio takes on our champion, Mr. Kempo Kenny, Dangerous Man in the LFF. Following that will be Loudmouth Leo taking on Chris Pate in the Underworld Intergalactic Unification match. And I do not have, there's a stip. Bob Dunn I'll have to get what the stip is, but it's a interesting stip where the stip will change every crowd meter. It is the Intergalactic Division, so who knows. And then finally, following that will be the World Heavyweight Championship as Press 1P takes on King Cold. And we have a tie, folks. Psycho Circus and Raven's Blood Cemetery is tied for our next stip.
I will be the tiebreaker vote if Brock allows it and announce it as Psycho.
Brock just announced Raven's Blood Cemetery. He made the decision. Right. No, we cannot have a run off Paul Michael Kirk. No. It is Raven's Blood Cemetery. Close the polls, no recounts. Fine with me. Do we have Sam Stanton asking, do we have a poll for if Chris Pate cashes in this Sunday?
I will tell you for the umpteenth time. Chris Pate, I love you to death. You are a great dude. You are very awesome player. You are super considerate of me and my family. I think you're amazing to hang out with.
Yes.
But I think you keep your balls tightly wrapped in a safe somewhere in your house. There is zero chance Chris Pate will cash in if John Press 1P is the world champion. We can't even get him to agree to a title shot that's scheduled,
Right.
let alone a surprise one. No chance. If John Press 1P holds that title, there is zero chance Chris Pate is cashing in his.
Oh, he'll cash in on Cold. Hands 100%. Cold shows up. Cold wins, beats Press 1P. He's cashing in. I'm just saying.
Zero chance. Prove me wrong, Chris Pate. Chris Pate, cash in before the match. Really shake it up.
I mean, like, he loses the Underworld and go cash in on Pulverino.
Make it a triple threat.
He won't do that. He won't do that. You know he won't.
If I held the Cookie's fortune, I would have a plane ticket to John Press 1P's house.
I'd drive to Peace House while he's eating dinner.
I'd cash it in at Rip and Ship, all right?
No.
Anyhow, is there anything else we did not cover? The CCC, Patrick Mulligan has given instructions. These videos must be submitted. I will get our guest judges together. Stay tuned. We will have a special guest at PAX Unplugged.
Yep.
That's a ways away. You can expect your your Thumbtack bundles to debut at PAX Unplugged as well. Is there anything else I did not cover, as I am going to sleep in a very deep slumber tonight, Mr. Scott?
I don't know, but tomorrow, Expanding the Universe, we will be on at between 11 and 30 tomorrow.
Showing off Rudopolis and making sure the Rudopolis stuff gets updated.
Yep.
Among other things, we'll be working on Kobe Cram's character for his mother. She came out very, very cool.
Yep.
We have other stuff that I got to reach out to on. I know I've got some good artwork. We've got bricks from the Payne family that can be worked on. You got some stuff for the Norsemen if they want to come around. I know they were looking to do a third version of the bear, and I don't think we need a third trio with the same gimmick right now.
I mean, you gave it to Cheetah. I mean, like, you might as well give it to the Norseman.
You think 3 of the same gimmicks in trios?
Why not? It could be blanked by one trio before it even starts.
I don't know. All right, then set it up.
All right.
Brand new trio debuted, the Dangerous Alliance as well. For now, and unless there's anything else, we had a Grand Gathering date, but in true fashion, the person who booked it for us, for their company, did not reserve it when she left, and someone else, they double booked the same weekend. So we are working on this. I'm so glad I didn't announce it last week.
Right?
Not any more than maybe 24 hours past it did they tell us that they made a mistake.
Real quick announcement. Catch me this Friday night at Ignite to while I give Bobby Ohio a whooping.
Well, yeah, let's see Bobby Ohio Ignite going down.
All right, folks. We will see you tomorrow for Expand the Universe. Can I get a bye, man?
Bye, man.
Bye, man.